Hey guys, and welcome back to Trials and Tribulations. On the last part, the trial had started. Franziska von Karma has an accent that is totally unidentifiable. And, whip. Anyway, with as little whipping as possible. The judge just asked her to outline the case, basically, with as little whipping as possible. Anyway, the murder victim is the famed picture book author, Miss Elise Donim. Ugh. God. Her body was found in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. She had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue. You'd think those things wouldn't actually be sharp if it's just ceremonial, but whatever. The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene. Crime photo added to the court record. There is no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris. After all, there is a witness to her crime. Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand. Now you look weird from that angle, and so it begins. My first and my last trial as a defense attorney. Yes. Let's do it. Witness? She's not Russian, so I'm not gonna do witness. Anyway, witness, state your name and occupation, please. Hold on there. I'm not sure I care about. Wait. I'm not sure about being sure if I care about this at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight. Oh God. I love this part. If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for witnesses with bad backs. Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please. Did we have to do that? Come on. It's so much funnier to have her, like, really short and behind the witness stand. That would be so funny. Anyway, once again, your name and occupation, please. Little old me. Well, I'm the head nun of Hazakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini. Nice to meet everyone. John decides. But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. Ooh-ah! The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with lechery in their hearts should leave this sanctuary at once. You want me to leave? No need to get your bikinis in a twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in summer. Okay, sorry. Wahaha! Ha ha ha! Ha ha! In any case, witness. I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question as I curiously move my finger up and down as I point. Who does that? Have you ever seen someone point at you and, like, they move their hand and arm, like, up and down a little bit? That's so weird. That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way dear little Iris could do anything like that.
Smack! Let us hear what you have to say, then. First, tell us about your own movements that night, eh?
Ugh. The night of the murder. Witness testimony. That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up, violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and return to Hazakura Temple. You were already in Hazakura Temple, you were just going back to the main hall. Or wall. Is it called the main hall, or is it actually called Hazakura Temple? Never mind, I think it's actually called Hazakura Temple. Anyway. There's no bath at the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long, hot soak. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back. That's when I saw it.
Saw what?
You just kind of stopped right before the interesting part.
So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hazakura Temple?
Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple.
That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made.
There's only one problem. There's only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle, now are you, Miles Edgeworth? ...
Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination.
The night of the murder, cross-examination. There we go. Alright, that night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple lot.
What is this inner temple?
Well, see, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do, right?
We'll be the ones asking you the questions, madam.
Okay, whatever. Ugh. That was more like just an establishing statement. That wasn't exactly a question. Yeah, never mind. In order to do that, a place strong in spiritual power is required. There's a small temple across Dusky Ridge called the Inner Temple. You're the Inner Temple! Sorry, God. Acolytes must spend an entire night there to undergo intense training. And how exactly do you help with this process? It is all quite exacting. It can't be performed without a nun supervising. Like a tutor watching to make sure a spoiled child studies. A tutor with a whip in your case. If that is the case, then why did you return to Hazakura Temple where your murder took place, and why do I continue to move my finger up and down as I point? I did not know that my jaw is connected to my right arm. Anyway. Well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. Violently? What does that word mean? Anyway, that's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and fork during the cold months. Just being alive is like strict training. Wahaha, ha-ha, wahaha. On the night of the murder, why is my finger moving up and down? Oh, okay. I'm gonna get... never mind. Anyway, on the night of the murder, was this fabulous back of yours hurting again? That's right. Raging like a bull in a pig pen. I almost fainted once or twice. Or fainted. I just knew that unless I warmed it up, it was gonna finally finish me off. I don't know if it'd finish you off. It would just really, really hurt and probably, like, give out. Anyway. So I left Iris to help the Acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple. Yes. You left Iris to help. With what? What do you think? The Acolyte's training, of course. It was just past 10 p.m., so we were starting to enter into the training exercises proper.
Wasn't it your place to remain with the disciple?
Well, the job is simply to watch over the Acolyte so that they don't pass away.
Just to confirm this point again, that night, you met Iris in the Inner Temple, correct?
Yes, yes. She's a gentle, honest girl. She's never once failed to follow my directions.
Oh, well, isn't that sweet?
Anyway, needed hot, long, hot soak. Left Iris now. Wait a minute.
This is a contradiction to something that someone has said. Rang lights out bell and then was in her room until the murder was discovered. That is not true, what this fat nun has said.
Objection!
Haha. Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on their powers of observation and memory, after all.
Well, well, well. Don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of Hazakura Temple.
In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the Inner Temple at all.
No! She said that? A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back.
But that is completely illogical. That seems illogical, Captain. Anyway, the murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazakura Temple. Claiming that she went to the Inner Temple would make for a much better alibi. ...
exclamation point in a German accent. Anyway. It's not a German accent, shut up. Anyway, but that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie.
She does indeed have honest eyes. Ooh-ah!
All people lie. That is my belief.
So you do lie, too. Why am I the only one being whipped in here? Smack! Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means we must call your memory into question.
Dear, dear, dear. You're older than me, and yet you want to play that game, do you?
Well, that isn't exactly what I...
My memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter.
Smack. Then I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show a more decisive piece of evidence.
Understood, Your Honor. It is naive to think that alone would do the trick.
You didn't think that alone would do the trick. Come on. Then please add your comments to Abu's Iris to the testimony.
And let us return to the cross-examination. I love how they actually change it to Abu every time. That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the Inner Temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to add up. Finally, Iris came to the Inner Temple. She was dressed exactly as she had been at the dinner. Wrong-o. That is incorrect.
Hold it!
That is wrong. Are you sure you're not making a mistake?
You, young man. You, young man, need to get your estimation of me off the floor.
H. I don't know why. You know what it is? It's because it's 2:40 a.m. when I'm recording this. So it's like, you know how when you stay up really late and then you get like high on your body's like last ditch effort to stay awake. You know, your body tries to force you to stay awake so you have a lot of energy inexplicably. That's why I'm laughing so much. Anyway.
Iris always wears the same clothes. The smallest thing out of place would have stood out like a sore thumb to me. You're making a mistake. Thinking I made a mistake.
An excellent finish there, witness. Still, I have to wonder. I don't have to wonder. I know exactly what's going on here. Just exactly as she had been at dinner. Incorrect. Incorrect. Boom. Incorrect. I win. Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon warning hood, correct?
Of course. That is a very important piece of clothing, I'll have you know. Wahaha, wahaha, haha. Wait a minute. Hold it right there. Why do you have that?
That's the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung.
What?
You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, the defendant couldn't have been wearing this very hood.
Whoa, well.
Gee, she's a freaking midget. Anyway, it's not a bad feeling at all exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it. Smack! Order in the court. Witness your response. Smack. Ooh,
Sister. God, how did I do that? Oh, man. Sister, this hood. You have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them.
You make them? That's kind of cool. I see. A stockpile. A surplus of hoods, eh?
Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owned.
Then this is quite strange.
If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There is no contradiction here.
I'm sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt. Witness, while I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on your way back to the inner temple.
Yeah, I don't even... It's not an accent. Whatever. Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation. Okay. That's very weird. That is a very interesting line, but okay. I'm not an English professor, so I'm not going to go into it anyway.
I finished my bath around 11, and I thought I should return to the inner temple.
Jeez, you freaking bathed for an hour. I take long baths, but really, if you're just trying to warm up your your back, come on. Okay, I guess getting hot water up on a snowy mountain would take a long time, but whatever.
And as I was walking back, I heard a noise in the courtyard. I took a look, and Iris was, Mysticalese! And with that sword of all things! Mysticalese was staying in the corner room, which faces out into the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window.
Okay. You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, then it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Edgeworth in court. And me seeing it all from this very chair. Wait, didn't we have like an exact same thing like this? I think it was Gumshoe talking about how it would be like Edgeworth stabbing Phoenix in the courtroom, and then Gumshoe witnessing it from the witness stand. God, that was a lot of air. Well, something like that. This judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe. Yep, I got it.
I would look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Oh, God, not the fool thing again. Oh, no. Anyway, this case is mine, Miles Edgeworth.
calling everyone by their full name. Can't you do something about that habit of yours? Exactly. Isn't that a little bit redundant? Anyway, after my bath. I finished my bath around 11. I thought I should return to the Inner Temple. Yeah. Alright, now. How far is it from your room to the Inner Temple? Let me think a moment. About 20 minutes on these stumps of mine. It's about 15 minutes to Dusky Bridge from Hazakura Temple. The Inner Temple is just beyond the bridge. Still, you never made it back there that night, did you? That's right. I was heading along the walkway toward the main hall. And I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and... it doesn't really say anything. Iris was, oh, Mr. Glees, and with that sword of all things... Yep. She got stabbed. God. This is the second time that the witness has testified to seeing the defendant. But some doubt remains in these claims. Hey, just what does that mean? Just because you're a good-looking young man doesn't give you the right to... The murderer who stabbed the victim with the sword. Sister Bikini, try to recall exactly who it was you saw, as clearly as you can. Well, you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Oh, now that you mention it, there was something awfully strange about her. Something that has been bugging me all this time. Please, don't keep us in suspense. Her hood. Her hood? That's right. It's coming back to me. Iris, she wasn't wearing her hood. I thought something was out of place, but it all makes sense now, doesn't it? After all, she'd given that hood away to someone. Right? Urgh! And that face. It looks so much better on younger Edgeworth, though. God, it's not... You've dug your own grave, Miles Edgeworth. Smack! What do you say, Mr. Edgeworth? Is this testimony important? It's important. It's important. Sure, why not? This may initially appear to put me at a disadvantage, but I can't see any other leads at the moment. Your Honor, I would like these new statements to be added to the testimony. Miles Edgeworth, if you want to hang yourself, you need only ask. I'll gladly lend you my whip. I'm fairly certain whips aren't really strong enough to hold that much, but they're kind of strong, made strong. Except for hers because it's so tiny. You know, that's like a, that's not like an actual, like, 7-foot whip. That's like a, like just a little circus lion tamer whip. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'll gladly lend you my whip. Smack! Witness, add the statement to your testimony. No problem. No problem. Or wait, who said no problem? I think it was Farah, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Farah. Anyway, I don't remember how she said it. Hey, guess what? Cliffhanger!